down and log back into my stuff yet because I'm dumb. Or lazy. Whichever one you want to say.
It can be a pain in the butt. Anyways,
All
I'm
right.
Liv.
There we go. I'm Liv as well.
20 seconds now.
Yeah, that doesn't... Whatever.
Yeah, eventually it will be time to have people show up. Not just jump. We're live. Okay, here we go.
Alright.
Hopefully.
Alright, we good?
Original Danhausen mask, huh?
Yep. Let's start the recording. And we are live. You want to do this intro? Because I can't sound good. There's no way I sound
you're
good.
muffled as shit. Hi, I'm Matt, and that's Matt, and we are the Wrestling Mats. And we hop on after, well, normally when Raw streams, except now they're on the European tour, to talk about the show and just wrestling in general. So,
I got like puffy cheeks in this thing. I got a chunky face.
yeah, well, yeah, that happens when you hit 40.
Yeah, so we talked about this last week, and I was boxing up some stuff appropriately, and I found it actually without meaning to try to find it. So this is one of the early Danhausen masks that he sold on the indie scene. That I don't know. I think he had someone make them, and maybe he hand painted them. But you can look on the inside; they're numbered and signed. So I got mask number 6 apparently.
Wow.
So, but yep, that was the Danhausen mask. And then as I box stuff up, because I don't have space and it's going someplace else right now. Last year's random find. A Young Bucks turnbuckle pad signed.
Oh, turnbuckle bad. For my small camera, I'm just like, is it a boot? Because all I saw was this.
It's supposed to bend like
frills?
this. Yeah.
Gotcha. Huh.
Insanely cheap if you actually go to a live event and find a high spots like WrestleCon stuff like that. That was not expensive at all, honestly.
Huh.
I spent more on indie shirts.
Yeah.
So totally worth it. And they had, I think the most expensive one they had there at the time was Shawn Michaels, and I think it was like $100 for the signed turnbuckle pad. So if you're looking for something cool and different, I do recommend like checking out a high spots WrestleCon type locate. Like WrestleCon has high spots in it plus other stuff, other vendors, but very cool stuff. For in terms of WWE pricing, not expensive at all. Way more expensive to buy whatever off the WWE shop than it is stuff like that. Although I'll give credit to the WWE site. They are pretty cheap on their 8x10s. Their hoodies not so much, but their 8x10s, yes.
Yeah.
And their 8x10s, I can say I can attest to good quality.
That's good.
Yep. Nope. Just random stuff. I got more random stuff that's gonna go in a box and go someplace else soon.
It's some of that stuff you get your money's worth because, man, some of the things they price are just. Whew, that's the whole reason we wait for the sales because it's like I'm not buying that regular price.
Right. No, their pricing is getting out of hand for sure.
I'll bite on the sale because you get it down to like
the price it's to start at.
Yeah, the price that it should actually be in just today's market. And God, they mark everything up so much. It's like, no.
It's ridiculous.
Unless you make it a really good item, like the only thing I've really found worthwhile for that was LA Knight's George Washington crossing the Delaware River. Sure, like to me, that one okay, fine, because that one's ridiculous. It's got a lot of artwork on it, so it uses a lot more. Say ink. I know that isn't the proper thing, but material. Fine, okay. But man, some of these other ones, it's just like, no.
And the sad part is I'm someone who likes the minimal designs. Like my favorite shirts are like the Roman with the Roman symbol, or like the Finn with the Finn symbol. And I want something small on the front, if anything, and something maybe large on the back, but also maybe not super large on the back. So I'm looking to spend the most money on the least amount of material, as you said, because I'm not typically one that likes a lot of the Roman had the one cool long sleeve shirt where they had his tribal tattoo, Samoan stuff down the one sleeve. That was pretty cool. But I'm a sucker for red and black, so
Yeah.
that could have been that too. But yeah, I'm the opposite. I want like the smallest amount of material, and to pay the highest price is ridiculous. So,
Yeah,
uh,
when was that compared to some of the other ones where they'd spend a lot of material on the shirt for like whatever design's going on it, and then you have those minimal design ones. Those should at least, even without the sale, be like $10 less.
yeah,
Like, it shouldn't be no $45 shirt. You're insane.
right.
It
Yep,
shouldn't even be
agreed.
35. It should be like 25. Like, you're doing well enough. You don't need to price gouge your fans. Especially with the whole like, oh, TKO's got to work off their debt, so front row has to be 70 grand at WrestleMania. Like, wow, okay. It wasn't a great big hit last year, and you're now doing that
I mean,
with a repeat show.
I think the front row will sell because they will have people with I mean, if anything, I've learned from CNBC, it's that we have a K-shaped economy right now. The people who want to spend will spend the most they possibly can, and they don't care. And the other half of the economy goes, "What the hell is wrong with you people?" Um, average price of a SUV being sold on the market today is $60,000. Like just 3 years ago, 5 years ago, right around the pandemic or right before, you had cars that were 20K, 25K. The average was probably about $40,000 for a car. The average of the price of a car being sold today has jumped by $20,000 in 5 years. Like that's just because the people who have the money to spend are going to spend. So they can charge 70K for 2 nights because some crazy person who invested properly in Bitcoin is going to go spend it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that one
Not to bring
chance.
that back up again.
That well, I mean, I had that already in the back of my mind when even talking about this because I'm like, if I, would have played my cards right with that and been set for life, I mean, it would have been you and me, buddy, in the front row at like all these events with fucking green shirt guy. Like,
Right,
yeah, I
but
spent 140K.
right, and I think there's part of me that would do it once or twice, but even me rationally, I think would eventually go, "This is insane."
Oh yeah,
Like I could have bought a cul-de-sac worth of houses for people, and instead I've gone to 2 WrestleManias. Like what the, like
yeah. I mean,
what am I doing?
maybe do it for the big ones where you're just like, I'm really friggin' into this story. I want to be here for this WrestleMania. Yeah, sure.
Don't
Honestly,
get me.
you don't need to be front row for hard camera, anyways.
We don't, truthfully, unless you know the people in the ring, and I don't know that many in WWE. I don't. They not enough has come through the indie scene and made it to WWE that I even am acquaintance with them. So, and the few that I had friends that were friends with them, those people have been let go. So it's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I do recommend being in the crowd for WrestleMania at some point. It is insane, but I mean, unless you can afford front row, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just be there. The rest of it doesn't matter. Just be there. I've sat for a SummerSlam in the lower bowl and it was great, but the vibe is the same whether you're in the lower bowl or the upper deck. The vibe is the same. And let's be honest, you're going to watch either one of those on the major screens and not so much like your own eyes on the ring. You're going to watch the screens. You're just there for the vibe check, essentially.
Yeah,
So,
I almost think off the floor, just like on like what would you
yes,
call it, the like first mezzanine if you're up like
the
about
first raised seating, yes.
yeah with the
Or what they
first
call lower
race.
bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, you get on that. I mean, if you got like row five there, it's like that seems like it's a really good spot. Maybe a
Well,
little bit higher so you can actually see
the
what's going around the ring.
the last AEW Dynamite that was here,
Hmm.
I could have got floor. I would have paid about, I don't know, $100 more for the two of us because there was two people that went. Um, but those suck, especially if you're short, because everyone just stands.
Yeah.
So like, instead we went directly towards the stage, first row, raised seating, and um, we got to sit down. There's a bar in front of like a footrest type railing that you don't want to fall over scenario. But the fall is about 8 feet. We're about 8 feet up, so we're about in line with the top rope essentially,
Ouch.
and clear sight to the ring. On the probably 10 feet further back than the last row on the floor. That's it. So like the sight line was great. Actually, we were sitting the elevated part where we were sitting at. Moxley came out from where he was coming from, right in front of us, just right below us, essentially. I have a video of that too. I can send you if you want to see that.
Okay.
And then he goes towards the ring. So I mean, again, like you said, if you can be in that first lower bowl area, that's usually the best place to sit for most events if you're not first row. I will say this about AEW. Had I not spent a ton of money on indie tickets and that set of tickets too, AEW for a normal Dynamite, $500 gets you front row. And $500 gets you front row with early access, early parking, a special liaison, essentially. Somebody from either backstage or an actual wrestler will come be your like guide, essentially.
Oh, wow.
Answer questions. Then they take you down to the ring, so you're actually inside the barricaded area. You take photos around the ring with a belt of one of the belts that they have on hand, so either an AEW championship belt or the women's belt or whichever, around ringside. And then I believe there's like a little bit of a Q&A with either the person that came and got you in the first place or a wrestler. And then that $500 also puts you first row with a goodie bag of some sort as well, a VIP goodie bag of some sort as well. And that's your experience for $500 at an AEW show. $500 might put you on the floor at Raw. Might.
Yeah. Okay. And
So-
you don't get all that experience. It's just the ticket.
Right. Now, I think certain sections for $500 you get the seat, you get the folding chair at the show,
Yeah.
which some people will try to sell and make back their money for the ticket.
Well, I mean, that's a strategy.
Yep. So, but yeah, that's those are your differences. That's where the ticket prices are. That's where the value is. It just depends on if you're okay. If you're okay watching an AEW event and sitting front row and seeing Sasha Banks essentially, or Mercedes Moné and Will Ospreay, and not Seth Rollins, I mean that might be the way to go, personally.
Might be. Yeah, honestly, even with a live show like that, and just, man, I could go to something like that and just like not even know what's currently going on with the storyline. I know enough of the people there, and then the ones I don't, I mean, they're just gonna entertain the shit out of you sitting at front row, especially.
Yeah, the shows are still great. That's the thing.
Yeah.
If you don't know the storylines, AEW is still a better place to watch wrestling, because I think a lot of people would agree that the in-ring talent, the match quality, AEW is going to put on matches closer to New Japan, and in most people's opinions, the in-ring wrestling is going to be at or above what you get in WWE. WWE has talented performers that can produce at that level, but they're not doing it all every night. Dynamite and AEW is trying to do that every night, but they lack in the story building for sure. In comparison, the story building is much better in WWE, and how the package is presented. All that's better in WWE. That's the big difference. So,
Yeah.
but so if you don't know the storylines and you still want to be entertained, again, for that bang for your buck, essentially, I think you're in good shape, because you're gonna go see some hella cool matches. And if you're an indie wrestling fan, really good chances you're gonna see your friends being the security guards for AEW.
Yeah.
I mean, we see a lot coming through AIW into WWE. Right before the last paiper-view, right before SummerSlam, Eric Taylor, a local wrestler in this area, was a security guard. Tyler Jordan was a security guard. Derek Dillinger was a security guard for WWE. And then you flip over to AEW, Dynamite that very next Wednesday, and Derek was one of the security guards again, and a handful of people were again security. So always good times and always fun watching for that. Although I had no interest in watching the security guards this week because I'm like, I'm not going to know anybody across the pond. So
Nah, no, not us,
um,
but yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I kind of see that as the same thing when we like take front row at our indie events. It's like, okay, I might have been tapped out for a while. I maybe don't know who all is going to be there. I know some people, AIW. There's some folks that are just still there, kind of waiting to make it to that next level up,
yeah,
and they're just, I don't want to say stuck there, but they're at that plateau right now.
yeah. They seem to have hit a ceiling, and this is a good place to help get through the ceiling. But you also know that you've been here at this point for a while, and you'd like to get a little bit higher, but you just seem to be just kind of stuck a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but with sitting like front row with those indie shows, that's part of what makes it a little bit better in a sense where it's, say, people I don't know, the storyline I don't know, maybe. I'm right there up in what's going on, so that doesn't matter. I'm just enjoying it. I'm there
Right.
for the ride and practically in the damn ride.
Right.
And people thrown in my laps practically. So
Yeah. Good show on October, but I don't know if I'm going to Youngstown or not for it. So that's
okay.
the one that AIW is doing at that really cool brewery. It looks like a very cool venue, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get the name of it next week. But Hornswoggle, Danhausen, and PK all on that card.
There was one more too that
Jay
they
Lethal.
announced. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah,
Yep. I mean, I knew.
I saw that
I
right
like
after
Jay
you
Lethal, but the
mentioned
other
it.
three are favorites for me. So
Yeah, yeah. I went.
Jay Lethal's very cool though. He's very good. And he had a hell of a match his last time it was an AIW. He wrestled, I think, was it Mikey Montgomery or Alec Pierce? I think it might have been Alec. I think it was Alec. He put on a hell of a match. It was him and it was Sandman was the two guests,
ah,
and yeah, he put on a hell of a match.
yeah. I unfortunately missed the whole AIW era with Danhausen, so that's why it's like for me, I sort of
It
it'd be
was.
cool to see
I think
see him.
I think somehow Gary ended up going to the last time Danhausen. Not Danhausen's been back once, and I didn't go to that show. The show before that, Danhausen came back. I think Gary went with me. Gary and Denise.
Yeah.
I don't know why it wasn't you, but
Um,
I'll double check and see if he saw me or not. That was but most of Danhausen's time in the indie scene by us, he was much more serious. He
yeah.
was uh, uh, a lot more evil.
Not so nice.
Yeah, exactly. But he had his character fleshed out when he came back and he battled Derek um, of the production a while back. I assume he had to have Ziggy at the time and not Katie. Maybe he had Katie. I think it was Ziggy. And so Derek had her, one of the two off the top of my head. I don't remember when Ziggy fell out and Katie moved in, but so the guest was Terry Reynolds. So Terry Reynolds kind of was like Danhausen's female backup. But yeah, so that's when he mostly when his character was all flushed out. He did the tequila dance on the apron. He did the teeth thing. Like that's when he really was all flushed out. When he was first here with Derek and them, he was more evil, carrying around a railroad spike, and stuff like that. So
yeah.
he was getting that character like flushed out at the end of his AIW run, in my opinion.
Makes
To where he
sense.
is now. So, but So Raw,
Yeah. Um, what do you think?
it was fine. It led us into what will be SmackDown, I'm sure, and then into the pay per view. But it gave them a chance to finalize some matches. But I'm not really intrigued with a lot of the storylines going on right now. Um,
Yeah.
Bailey's still the most entertaining to me because I'm curious to see if she just comes back as like a split personality person now, which is what I'm kind of getting.
Yeah.
Like 1 minute she could do something super nice, and the next minute she could do something more like her heel turn persona did. It's kind of what I'm seeing, which could be fun. A real Jekyll and Hyde type of
Yeah.
situation.
I would definitely say while watching it and maybe fiddling around doing other things on the computer here, not really doing much to really distract myself. That was the one thing where I like made sure like okay, don't do anything and watch every bit of this just to try and get an idea of where this might be going. But
I think she's gonna. Instead of being Lily, I think it's gonna be a multi personality thing. I think she's gonna split between the two.
yeah, kind of snapping away into
Yeah,
split
be
personality.
nice and then snap and be evil and then snap and be I think she's
Yeah,
gonna bounce back and forth.
yeah.
Um,
Seems like she's just wanting to do something more creative.
yeah,
So
and I think it plays into the storyline everyone was talking about before it was a storyline, which is her not making SummerSlam on 2 nights and WrestleMania on 2 different nights, and
yeah.
it just kind of plays into that perfectly. So, although she was on Mercedes IG talking about when they could wrestle again,
Oh boy.
so um, I think there is definitely a spot where I think Bailey's interest to wrestle Sasha in an environment might be higher than Sasha's is to come back to WWE to wrestle Bailey. I
Yeah.
think also Mercedes realizes that I got to stop interchanging names. Mercedes understands that that the control that they would have over their match would be much greater outside of WWE versus inside WWE.
Yeah.
So,
They'll get their paws in it and try and
and they'll produce a great match. Don't get me wrong,
yeah.
but
It won't be the
uh,
one that they want to tell.
probably not. No.
You know,
So,
they'll alter
uh,
something for it.
right, or they'll need to do it this way because they want to set up for the next pay per view or the next this or the next feud this way,
Yep.
instead of letting them just have the complete creative control over the match. I'd
Yeah.
imagine. Maybe they wouldn't. How do I know? But I
Well,
can't see them not. So
yeah, or doing it in a way where you have the same match 15 times over the next 3 months.
right, that's
Where
another
you're
major
just like,
problem they have. That they build a story, but they build it so slow. It's ridiculous.
yeah, like tonight's main event, like Jay just saying, fuck it, I'm super kicking both these idiots. Um, After Roman kind of going like, you gotta do it on your own, don't trust any of these fuckers. Um, I I don't know. I guess I'm on the fence of it. It just knee jerk reaction. I'm just like, no, Jay, don't do that shit. But then again, it's also like I have to think about it where it's like, how about yes? Because this storyline needs to kind of move on in a different way. It can't. It like we've been seeing the same shit where these fuckers can't get along against Seth. And it's just like, okay, we just go a different route, change it up,
Yeah,
go different. And if
I
this
mean,
aligns him more with Roman, that could be interesting where those two are like Roman's on the level of like I now see Jay as an equal rather than like I'm like big brother
it's
to him.
still always going to be weird that he's more aligned with Roman now than Jimmy, but yeah, I agree.
It just I'm interested to see them like what they might do with that as long as they don't fuck it up and just you know they have opportunity and then they just squander it and not do anything with it where it's just like oh looks like they're gonna do something and then nothing happens.
They,
I
I see
hope that
three
doesn't happen.
options. I see three options, in my opinion, and one option, this plays out whether he wins or loses, he's more aligned with Roman. They already kind of hinted at that with the way they're talking and stuff like that, and tag matches and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Option two, he actually turns fully and is a fourth member to Seth. Like he's had enough of the bickering and the blah blah blah, and everyone can't get on the same page, and at least the Vision has a vision.
Like Jay joined Seth.
Yep.
Ooh,
Or there's
that would be a power player he would want.
then the third option is he kicks both of them in the face like he did tonight. They have the match, and then he comes right back to where he was, square one again, and goes, you know what? I was just tired of all the bickering. I couldn't handle all the bickering. I don't care, so I kicked you both in the face. Let's bygone be bygones, and let's move on. Because that does nothing. There's no advancement in the story. There's no advancement in the character. The character got fed up, kicked some people in the face. They had a match, and we're right back to square one. At least either aligning more with Roman or aligning with Seth does something for the character that's brand new, so to speak. Equals with Roman, or the real big one again, joining Seth. So that's what I hope. One of those two. I don't care which, but just give me something fresh with Jay. Let Jay can keep doing the yeet and to keep his whole character, and all that's good, but let's put him with something new and go from there, in my opinion. Because you put him with Roman, now you have a potential that Jimmy could come back at any moment, and now you have a bloodline that can go up against the new bloodline or whatever. You put him with Seth, and now you just got a power-packed house of two agile guys and two monsters, and it's, your typical stable of four.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
either one of those. I would like to see that.
You could almost, at that point, you almost make that group do double duty, and you put both championships on fucking Seth and Jay, the two big ones.
You
and
could.
Then you throw
who's
like
the other champion right now? Am I blanking? Who's the other champion right now?
I don't know. I am.
Cody.
Oh yeah. Well, you wanted the Jay versus Cody. Turn Jay
heel
it'd be
and
take it.
Fun storyline going into like Mania, for example.
Yeah.
Bad guy Jay versus good guy Cody at WrestleMania. Well, good guy Punk is wrestling bad guy Seth.
Well, yeah, but you also have an opportunity of good guy Roman going after Seth, going like, you turned my blood against me, and I'm coming after you and not them.
Yeah, that could make sense too. I just have a funny feeling that it's going to be Punk and Seth.
Yeah, I mean,
they're hinting a little bit at the chance of it being Roman, but the reality is to me that that's a hint for next year's Mania. Like, that's how far out they put their hints. Like, that one's 43.
Like, they're going to keep just kind of teasing it a little bit, but they're focused at CM Punk. Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Like, I don't have... But it's one of those things where, say CM Punk gets hurt somehow, there's their swerve.
Right.
There's their other angle to take and go like,
100%.
all right, well, we do it this time.
There's always a plan B and C for sure.
Yeah.
There has to be in this sport. So, I'm mildly excited for Bronson Reed versus Roman. Side note, also it's Sunday. I thought for sure it was Saturday, but I heard Michael Cole say Sunday like 6 times.
Oh, it's Sunday? Oh, what time Sunday? Like 7:30?
Not a chance. It's across the pond, my friend. It'd be in the middle of the afternoon.
Ah, fuck. I think my D&D group can't run this weekend. I'm gonna have to. I need to know that actually, so I can actually. Well, if anything, I would have to watch it late if my group would run. But
let's see if we can find a start time. I'm going to assume the kickoff show is at noon and the actual start time is 2 p.m.
I'm surprised it's on a Sunday.
I'm not after I thought about it for a second. Do you think it wants to run up against Ohio State versus Texas?
Hmm. Good point.
I wouldn't.
Good point.
WWE is pretty cocky, but it's not football cocky yet.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it's Sunday. I think I'll double check this because I'm sure the Twitter page actually probably has a bunch of stuff on it, but it looks like the start time is 2 o'clock. So
Hmm.
yeah, until I heard Michael Cole say it multiple times, it just was not clicking that was the case. I opened up Twitter and immediately saw our baseball team. So sorry. that's what that's what happened there.
I have crippling depression.
Yeah, it hurt inside. It hurt inside. Yeah, looks like the start time for the pay per view, according to this, is 2. So I'm gonna guess the kickoff show is noon, and then WrestlePalooza is at September 20th. It's on Saturday, September 20th at 7.
Yeah, I gotta get logged into that. Make sure I'm good. I should be good.
Yeah, it claims, one post I saw claims that both AT&T and Cox and them were not on YouTube, weren't on the list, but I just logged into the website, the browser.
Your Cox cable.
Yeah, and it let me in, no problem. I might try to log out and then try to log back in and see if I can't get authenticated through YouTube TV. But
okay,
because that's what I have, that's what I will always have. So like that means that, I mean, I'm glad to let me go through Cox, but in 2 months or whatever, I may not have Cox. So
yeah, understandable.
So be interesting, to say the least. So, but anyways, that was, what day was that I just said? September 20th?
Yes.
Okay. That should be okay. That should still be a situation where that's not too bad. I should be able to watch that. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, it wasn't a bad show, but it really didn't hold my attention all that great. I mean, I didn't do much else because, again, my baseball team has put me into crippling depression. But it did fine pushing things forward, but I don't think it did a lot. It did confirm that we're not going to have the women's match. Your girl's not going to be on it. Stephanie Vakir is not going to have her title match because there is no Naomi. So
yeah, so why wouldn't you just run a match with like the?
They are, but next Monday.
What the fuck you do it on Monday for?
Because they've already flushed out the rest of this card, and unless they want to do some type of surprise, I don't know what the surprise could be. Also, I think I've seen that Julio wrestled once since winning the U.S. title. Side note.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some of these where it's just like they were just on last week, but she didn't wrestle.
Yeah, they've been doing the whole agent thing for the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
Interesting to see there if there's an injury or if it's a creative choice.
Yeah. I'm not quite behind that storyline quite yet. It's kind of, it seems a little odd to me.
Yeah. I mean, if there's an injury, they may have put someone with her anyways to be the spokesperson just because of the language barrier. And now if there is an injury of some sort, it could also be to give someone, keep her character relevant without having her wrestle. So, yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I missed the AEW pay per view. I can't interject with AEW stuff because I missed it because I completely forgot they were also in London.
Hmm.
So, but big stuff happened there, like always. Big matches happen left and right, and some good stuff.
Yeah.
But
Didn't something happen to Osprey? Did he get
he needed neck surgery. He's needed neck surgery for a while. So he
Yeah.
went out there. He did his thing where he moonsaulted off the top of a cage and did all of his big stuff and put on a fun match. And then,
After the show, they put him on a stretcher.
yeah, he was doing his goodbyes, and everyone left the ring, and he was doing like his waves and stuff and fan appreciation stuff. And then Death Riders locked the door again, and they all jumped him essentially, and they did the chair stomp with a chair around his neck and shoulder area, and they just went all out to pretty much write him off for a while.
Got it. So they gimmicked his surgery need.
Well, the need's real. How they got there, yes.
Well,
yes.
yeah.
I knew what you meant, but I just wanted to make sure that it was stated clearly. That's
the
all.
Storyline, because you led with he's needed neck surgery forever now.
Yeah, C2 and C6 I think are issues for him,
Mm-hmm.
and then he took some time off to get into Forbidden Door, and then had the match at Forbidden Door, and now he's going to go take some time. I think that's the report is that that's the last time we'll see him for 2025.
Gotcha.
So he'll be out for at least 4 or 5 months. It sounds like.
Yeah, I mean that's
But the Bucks have been carrying stuff. Bucks did some fun stuff in their match.
Mm-hmm.
They said they wanted their original entrance music back, and they one of their original entrance music was Hanson.
Oh God!
Bop.
Really?
So yep. So that music hit as they came out, and they went nuts. But meanwhile, everybody else in the ring is just rocking out to it. Like Kenny Omega's dancing bop, and he's having a good time, and everyone's having a good time. But they're pissed. And then they did another callback. They're doing so many callbacks. It's like a nostalgia tour for Young Bucks fans because they went to pull thumbtacks out and pour thumbtacks all over them, and it was gummy bears.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, that's a callback to the time when they faced the cutest tag team in the world, Candice LeRae, and now hopefully, he's better. Hopefully, Joey Ryan, but back at that era when Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan were doing stuff as a tag team, Young Bucks had a hell of a match. And really, the star was Candice. Not Joey didn't, he was there, but Candice became the star. She was the one that was super bloodied at the end of it. She took the super kick with the thumbtacks on the shoe. She did all kinds of stuff. She eventually did a ballplex to Nick or Matt onto Tax. I mean, she did all the stuff. That's the match that really put Candice over. Was the Bucks, and Candice essentially. I'll see if I can find that poster I have, but because Candice is just bloodied galore at the end of it. But that was where that callback comes from, is that PWG match with those four, then that tag team match. Nick goes to pour thumbtacks out, and it's just gummy bears. So they did a callback to that same match from 2014, and for that. So I mean, they're doing such good stuff. It's just I don't think they're done by any means, but it feels like a callback nostalgia, farewell tour type of play your greatest hits on your way out Bucks thing.
It was just a creative idea they had. Like, why don't we just do a bunch of callback nostalgia shit?
But it's like they've been doing it this entire time since they've lost the EVP status. That's why I called it like a tour. It wasn't just one match. They've been doing it ever since. A Dynamite, 3 Dynamites ago, the names they put up underneath the graphics were the same names as their one time in TNA when they were Generation Me. Not the Young Bucks yet. That's how early it was.
Oh.
I forget if it was Mark and something else. It was something like that. They were off, but it was their Generation Me team from TNA. And they're like, what the hell? The graphics department's been screwing with them on the way out. The fireworks haven't ever worked on the way out. The show I went to, there usually it comes out between two tunnels and the screen goes up, like a cool looking screen goes up and they come out from underneath it. On the show I went to at Dynamite, the screen got stuck after only going up like 3 feet or 2 foot. So Nick and Matt had to crawl underneath their stupid entrance thing, and then they come out and um, their pyro is supposed to go off, but they haven't been getting the same pyro, so they get the loudest pop of all time from pyro, like frightening loud, but no cool effects, no sights, just a loud noise. They freak out, they turn around, and Nick gets to watch one lonely little firework go pop.
Oh.
And that's like the firework they got. Like they're having so much fun with it, it's ridiculous. It's such good storytelling. And the Bucks are getting just lambasted by the crowd. They're rooting for the super jobbers, and they're just and the Bucks are just feeding into it while putting on matches and moves I've never seen before.
Oh.
So they are the heels being yelled at, still hitting all of their normal moves and busting out stuff I've never seen them do before, while being the jobbers being laughed at. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good.
They are, again, I know either you love the Bucks or you hate the Bucks, and more people hate the Bucks than love the Bucks, but I just don't see how you can't at least appreciate the work. I don't get the Tony Storm. The Tony Storm gimmick doesn't work on me. Not a big fan of it, but I totally get that it's over and people love it, and it's one of the best things in wrestling. It just doesn't click for me. I hope that all the people that hate the Young Bucks can at least appreciate what they're doing, because it's pretty remarkable and so much fun.
Yeah. So some of the people that don't appreciate the Young Bucks now, or what they've done in their careers, they'll live long enough to regret it and later on appreciate it. Kind of like how I was with the Stone Cold Rock era, where I was rooting for Undertaker. I didn't appreciate them, and I look back on that stuff and go like, God damn it, that kind of was the best time.
I don't know if they will, because I think the polar brand war split is too high right now. I think that they will just continue to hate everything that's AEW and go spend 70 grand to sit front row at WWE. And I don't want to say don't do that. I've been to WrestleMania, I've been to SummerSlams, I've been to like the past 2 or 3 SummerSlams, for crying out loud. So who am I to talk? I've gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, the only thing I would push is like, go watch a whole bunch of different wrestling, not just WWE, not just AEW, your independents.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. Local stuff is good to go see, because you never know who's going to go through it that you could have seen already. That's how I end up with belts with, autographs from Danhausen, and Ripley was already in NXT at the time. NXT traveled, but I got a Ripley autograph without waiting for 7.5 hours, which you can't do nowadays.
Yeah. That's exactly why go see your independents, like what you're talking about right there. You'll see them coming up. You might, who the fuck knows? You could see who would transcend into like the future, like, biggest star in the industry. Your Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Stone Cold, The Rock.
A lot of this roster that is in there now started right before I started going to independent wrestling. Some of the women on the card was right as I started going. So example being Athena, Ruby Riott, Britt Baker, Shayna Baszler.
Even my favorite referee, she was at my first independent show.
Yep, she's a superhero.
Followed how she went through her career. She ended up going to Japan to wrestle a bunch there. Then, took this tryout as a referee, nailed it, and now she's in all sorts of matches. She's not just reffing, the girls. She's doing big burly men matches and being the ref. She's killing it. She's doing all of it. And I haven't seen a thing with her doing that role that I haven't been like, hey, you're great. Not
Some
not
people
not
that
once.
have wrestled at AIW before they were signed, some were after, like Emma, for example, was after, but before they were signed to major contracts, man, through our most local place. The Young Bucks wrestled there, I believe, twice before they were massive. Wardlow wrestled there, I believe, twice, if I'm not mistaken. Tyler Black, or Seth freaking Rollins, essentially, wrestled there once or twice prior to. Um, Corey Graves, Shayna Baszler, Shotzi Blackheart. Steiner was after, obviously. Samoa was after. He was in TNA at least. Let's see here. Penta was in AEW when he was there, but Penta's been there before he was huge. Uh, Eric Rowan was there before uh, he got signed as one of the War Raiders. Mia Yim, uh, MJF, uh, Lee Moriarty, Laredo Kid, who we just saw in the one of the Mexico shows, like 2 shows ago. He was in one of the scrambles for the X Division title, whatever.
Hmm.
He was on that. Laredo Kid's fantastic. Laparca's kid, essentially. Kevin Steen or Kevin Owens wrestled in AIW a couple times prior to being signed. Obviously, Johnny Gargano, Juice Robinson, John Moxley. Um, he actually teamed, I want to say, with Sammy Callahan a couple times there. ICP, Heidi Lovelace. I'm sorry, that Ruby Riot's previous self, or Ruby Soho's previous self. Depending how far back you want to go.
Hmm.
Grado's really cool. One of my favorite matches actually had Grado in it. Gail Kim, but she was already signed at that point. I won't count her. I'm not really sure why AW's alumni page has 2 pictures of Ethan Page. I guess he has that much ego, but that's fine. Uh, Eddie Kingston, EC3, DJZ before he was signed, Danhausen before he was signed, Crazy Mary Dobson was the other member of Riot Squad. I can't think of Sarah Logan, Candice LeRae, Britt Baker out of AEW fame. Those are all different people that have been at the shows as signees, more so. Allison Kay, Amazing Red, AR Fox, who's now technically signed with AEW, has wrestled there many times. Alex Shelley, but he was only independents and TNA. AJ Styles has wrestled there way back in the day.
Wow.
Adam Cole, right before he got signed to NXT, wrestled there.
I think I
So
remember
yeah,
hearing about
that's
that.
just. I mean, AJ's been way back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's just an idea of like all these people. If you go to your local shows, you may see them come through, and some of them you may see and think that guy's gonna make it. You see the Young Bucks, and we all knew they weren't signed yet, but we all knew the Young Bucks were gonna be, really good. Oh, Tommy End, Aleister Black, before he was Aleister Black, is Tommy End. Um, you know, I hate to say it, but Tyler Black had the look, but you weren't sure if he was going to make it as just a fan. Meanwhile, the promoters all kind of knew he was going to make it because he was super professional, like super, super professional. And the promoters loved him for it.
Yeah.
I think the one here talks about a snowstorm in the day he was supposed to wrestle, and he's coming from Chicago or something, or maybe he was coming from his home, so even further out.
Yeah.
And there's people that live in the city canceling, going, I can't make it there. And Tyler Black gets there half hour early, gets ready for his match. Like,
Jeez.
he just shows up, puts on a banger of a match, and then collects and then goes home. But he's there. He's professional. He's on time. He does what he needs to do. And so, but yeah. So yeah, if you want a reason to go to your indie shows, I mean, there you go. If you have a really good indie production, they will also bring in a bunch of names eventually that are good for meet and greet purposes. He's brought Ultimo Dragon in several times. Super Crazy was at the first show I went to as the guest. I didn't realize this, but he brought the Shockmaster in at some point, which is fantastic.
That's really good.
Sabu's been in, Raven's been in, Samoa Joe, Papa Shango several times.
Yeah.
Mordecai's been in several times. Marty Jannetty, Masato Tanaka. Masato Tanaka was a really good one. Riddle, Cardona.
Cardona's been through quite a bit.
Yeah, Cardona's.
For a little bit there, he was kind of a regular.
He was. He was.
I think he had the belt at one time, didn't he?
For a while, yeah.
That's why he needed to keep showing up. Hey, you got the belt, fucker.
Well, they made him the champion, and then they also, that's how they turned PME to bad guys. And it took a minute for that to stick. But yeah, because they joined Cardona.
Gotcha.
And that was that stable, essentially. So, but yeah, go see your local indie stuff if you can. It's a really good idea. Whether it's the biggest promotion or even a small promotion, you're going to have fun. I actually tend to even have more fun at our other promotion that's more fun-oriented and less cool, so to speak. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Mega Championship Wrestling. That's how I saw our referee at my first show, and then she's WWE referee, and I mean, just being a black female referee that does a great job. Like, I mean, while she stays her professional self, she's got a social media presence too. They're never going to get rid of her. I don't think. Nope. She would have to really screw it up. She's a wonderful fit for what they want to portray currently.
Yep.
So.
It's sad that that's where we're at right now. That I'd rather I don't want to say promote local indie wrestling than that match that Raw I just watched. But the Raw didn't do anything special. The Raw just pushed us a little bit closer to Clash in Paris. That's all it really did.
Yeah, it sort of seemed like that Raw was just to kind of, it's kind of like giving that area what the states have been seeing the last few months. One, make sure, hey, give them Roman Reigns.
Yeah, they got all the key stars. They got Roman. They got Rhea.
Yeah.
They pushed the EO
storyline.
Yeah, the EO versus Asuka right now storyline, and my favorite little pirate is stuck in the middle. The only question I have is do they eventually just make it EO versus Asuka and Kairi has to be in the middle, or does something happen where Kairi accidentally gets hit by Rhea or EO, and then you get a tag match?
Join, like, stay with Asuka, like,
right?
definitively.
Then you have the tag match between the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and EO. That's the only question I have: does it stay a one-on-one situation, or does eventually somehow Kairi get dragged into it because of an accident and become a tag match?
Yeah.
I almost guarantee it's going to happen. It seems like we're far enough out now that I guess maybe it's Survivor Series or maybe it's WrestlePalooza. I have no idea.
Yeah,
I didn't know WrestlePalooza was a damn thing until like a week ago. So
yeah, well, they got to start making some matches for it, huh?
Yeah, they're going to probably come right back from this and start making matches for it since it's
pretty much they're going
to have 3 weeks
to do it.
Yeah.
They got to go.
And they're going to want it to go well because it's going to be the first one on the ESPN site.
Yeah,
So,
and that's at least perhaps a match of intrigue, and all four of those performers are amazing. So yeah, I would
yep.
think at least a tag team match.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one-on-one match, Io Asuka has bigger stakes, but I think if you want the star power, you make it the tag match.
Yeah, I think to get that one on one, I think you need a little bit more of a build and maybe that tag match. Uh,
It's one of those ones where I think that they could build, but I'm afraid that the build will take like 5 months to get to for no apparent reason.
yeah,
I hope it doesn't take that long to get there,
yeah, hopefully not.
but
But yeah,
we'll see.
yeah.
Well, is there anything you want to talk about specifically with Raw as we close in on
No,
an hour?
not really raw. I have the, the only thing I will like well, even question if you want to bring up is that whole fucking indie debacle fucking thing with Rampage Jackson's son. You want to talk about that at all?
I can only speak on what I briefly heard, and that's the same thing everyone's heard on Twitter, which is the two had an altercation backstage, and then then he climbed in the ring later on. I don't even know, was he supposed to do something? Was he supposed to work with this guy?
So, well, a little bit I know is he did the working shot with the beer can. Got a Rampage's son didn't like that. It seemed like right then and there he tried to apologize and he was just kind of like, get your fucking hands off me, sort of a thing.
Right.
And then he was, I guess he was supposed to do a run in and do a thing. And I guess another wrestler was encouraging him to give a receipt. Supposedly it was supposed to be with the slam, which uh, supposedly knocked the guy out on impact because he then decided to wail on him right after that, and he
Oh
didn't
yeah, he's
he
out.
didn't he didn't defend a single punch that
No,
landed.
he's out.
So I'll give you this: if after the slam he was supposed to give a receipt, punch one that lands, okay, that's the receipt. All that extra, like, just wildly unnecessary. And it's not like you got a UFC ref in there to like stop the fight and give him away from it. It's not a fight. You're wrestling. A referee's not there to actually drag you off of them and save you giving the guy brain damage. It's just assault
There
in the
are
ring
some
at that
fighters.
point.
He's lucky. No offense. I'm sure the guy's got great skills. His dad's a really good fighter.
Absolutely.
Um, actually, pretty good fighter with a hell of a left hook.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who just recently discovered he was taking steroids. Anyways, that clip is amazing when he's like, "That ain't steroids. Those are steroids, bro. Those ain't those are steroids."
That sucks to be like,
Yeah,
I've been taking this forever. You're telling me it's steroids now? Oh, fuck.
yeah. I gotta see if that's a joke or not. But there's a clip on Instagram going around like that.
Well, the scary thing is something like that could be like true, where you're like,
Yeah,
I thought I was
100%.
fucking clean. What the fuck are you telling me?
Right. The 100%. That's why you got to read every ingredient and everything yourself, and even that may not be enough.
Even the things I've heard about with like the mixing vats for these things, they don't polish them out. So where you're using something that's supposed to be steroid free, there's a little something residue in it, and you
Could
pop.
be. Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
Okay, so here's my take on this. One off. There is an indie wrestler named the Savage Gentleman. Victor Benjamin is what he goes by ring name wise.
Uh-huh.
Victor Benjamin would have whooped this dude's ass for this. Victor has a background in mixed martial arts and a actual professional record. He is also a personal trainer and a bit of a badass. And I have a funny feeling that if Victor's in the ring seeing this, Victor's ending this
Yeah.
safely, but he's tying up, Rampage's son in a way that no more damage is getting done.
One guy
The
at the
the
end of the
poor
clip, you finally see like almost gets him in the power bomb position and just like pulls him off
Yeah,
of
no,
him.
he's a bigger dude. He is definitely a bigger dude. And secondly, I've never seen a power bomb position be of way. He does eventually get double overhooks, and that is how he controls. But um, I do think eventually he gets flipped with that because of the underhooks that Rampage's son has. If everybody else doesn't step in, but eventually enough people step in. But they need a big boy to step in first because nobody else was willing to take on trying to control those arms
Mm-hmm.
before Big Boy got that guy under control. Those overhooks, the double overhooks, because you could see the ref and the other guy in the ring look terrified at first, and then the bigger wrestler comes in and he's the one who gets him locked up.
Yeah.
He's out on the slam.
Yes.
So the rest of that's unnecessary. Um, I want to wait for it to start. It's about to start again in like 5 seconds. I'm just gonna count the number of
I know he misses one shot, but he's just swinging.
Well, that's
swinging so
just
wildly.
sad. I didn't even notice that. He misses the shot to the guy who's unconscious immediately.
Yeah, the guy that's not moving on the floor, he
Right.
misses one shot.
Boom, hit. Okay, that one grazed. Okay, he's not as good with his right hand as he is his left hand. His right hand grazes a couple times, and I actually expect more movement of his face. A couple of those hit hard. Some of those I don't think may have landed that hard.
Maybe.
Don't get me wrong. He's out on the slam, and he does land some unnecessary shots. 100%. No doubt about it. He may have thought he was doing the thing he was told to do, though. He may have thought that he hit the slam. He gave his receipts with one or two shots, and the rest were these glancing blows. Let's see here. Boom. That one hits hard. That one hits hard. Those two hits hard. No, they're all hitting pretty good. He just is his right hand he misses some shots with, but his left one, everyone lands hard.
Yeah.
This is assault.
Yeah.
This will go to court. That's all. There's no other way to put it. This is assault. This is going to court.
Especially since the guy woke back up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Not even the ambulance ride to the hospital. So yeah, not good. Best thing you can really say is just, boy, wrestling community, be really careful who you let come in and do guest spots in the ring with you. Make sure they're kind of on board and understand what wrestling is, that you're doing entertainment. Like, I know we like some of this crossover with MMA, but
I don't.
What? You don't understand?
I don't like it for the most part.
Yeah, I mean I don't like it either, because you get shit like this where it's just like,
even the stuff that's not like this I don't like, because Brock is a wrestler, so I'm okay with it. But in most cases, the reason why I don't like it is because that realistic style doesn't translate to the wrestling style very well in my mind. And the better you translate it to wrestling, the less people like it. Perfect example is Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler is a phenomenal wrestler and a phenomenal martial artist.
Yeah.
Mixed martial artist and everything else. Fighter in many different styles, and blanking on the proper term. But anyways, and she blends it very well together. And I don't mind it, but I know that there are plenty of people that look at it as slow or bad, or it's not what they want to see.
Yeah.
When it's booked correctly, I think a lot of fans actually don't mind it when it's booked correctly. She was the Bowser of NXT.
Yeah.
She was a dominant champion in NXT.
I think that's probably why people didn't really love Ronda Rousey partly too, where it was just
and because
some of this and wasn't that great.
Because I think the problem with Ronda actually is that she wasn't. She didn't look controlled enough in the ring. She looked really. She looked almost unathletic in the ring, and
Yeah.
that's unfair to Ronda because she's super athletic. But
Yeah.
in a fight, you are more jittery. You are more. I don't want to say stiff, but a lot of fighters are. They don't look like they're in a action movie, if that makes sense. Whereas wrestlers look like they're in an action movie. They look like the level of confidence of this and that is different than an actual fight. A lot of fights are jittery at first. They feel things out from a distance. They, their posture, their stances this way. Whereas wrestling is not the same way. But Ronda had that fighter type posture, and then she'd go to do an arm drag, and it would look rough. And then people were like, "Look, she's just not very good. She's not very athletic." Well, no, she didn't do the best arm drag. The rest of it's her being in fighter mode, not wrestler mode. That's not really
Yeah.
fair.
So she basically had a hard time kind of transitioning in the like going to entertainment. People
I
kind
personally
of
feel like that. Yes, I feel like that's
people
the issue.
and then people ragged on her, and then that's when she started popping off at the mouth on like social media and stuff,
Right.
shitting on the
Like
business, and it's like, what are you doing?
you can have a level of confidence in the ring because you know how it's going to play out. You know that if you go and you have a loose vibe and you want to look towards the crowd, for example, for a minute, whether you want to rile them up, whether you want to calm them down, whether you just want to play to them in some way, shape, or form, you know that you're going to get the 2, 4, 5, 10 seconds to do it and be fine. If you're in the cage and you look towards the crowd to rile them up, Usman or any of the fighters out there right now are just going to walk up and knock you out. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you can't do that. But in wrestling, you can do the entertainment factor. In UFC, the fight comes first. The entertainment factor is there, but you're never taking your eyes off the fighter in front of you because otherwise you're the entertainment factor because you're on your back.
Yeah.
So I don't think she ever gained the confidence in that, whereas Shayna did. Shayna learned to play to the crowd and learned to be the hated badass that was going to do moves that looked like she broke your dude's or you broke your chick's arm while you're watching. Now it's going to be slow, methodical, and some people hate that. But I think people looked at her as a formidable beast like Brock Lesnar in NXT. You don't book it that way. You don't book it like Brock Lesnar, and people hate it. Let me tell you, people hate it. Doesn't matter if it's the main scene or if it's the indie scene. I've seen plenty of mixed martial artist style wrestlers that have that style in the ring in the indie scene give up on it and just hit someone with a light tube because it's way easier and it's way more appreciated by most fan bases.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, but
Well,
yeah. Quick honorable mention is GCW.
Oh,
Karrion
yes.
Kross showing up, Scarlett being by his side, helping Shotzi Blackheart. That whole promo, just go find Karrion Kross playing a violin.
Matt Cardona showing up with Doc.
Yeah. So the promo after the fact shows Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Shotzi, and it's a hell of a promo. Just go find it. But the lead into that match, Cardona's entrance is in a DeLorean. He comes through the curtain in a DeLorean with Doc and gets out. And I've watched plenty of GCW, but I may have to go back and make that almost priority watching because it seems like they're doing a lot of good stuff, a lot of fun stuff in GCW.
Yeah, that was really good.
And that's Cardona just for you being Cardona. Cardona's fantastic. And then Shotzi's energy is insane. And I think it really, having not seen the most recent event, but it feels like Shotzi has added a ball of energy that just jump-started GCW even more than it already was because it was doing pretty well. Don't get me wrong. Cardona's doing good stuff there. Ziggler was there for a while. That group is doing well. And I don't mean the crazy hardcore stuff they always end up doing at some shows where they're jumping off scaffoldings through glass panes.
Yeah,
But
it doesn't always need to be that.
no, and it isn't always that with them. They have a lot of fun shows where it's,
Yeah,
Cardona and um, Shotzi now, and I think PK Priscilla Kelly is going to be on a couple more shows going forward as well. Some good stuff happening there, especially on the indie scene overall. And I'd say the upper echelon of almost probably not indie anymore, indie scene.
yeah.
There's got to be some major funding behind GCW. I never looked it up, but there's got to be some major funding behind GCW
Yeah,
to
at this
afford that.
point, I agree.
So,
There's got to be now.
so
Um,
it's not quite the same
but it
level
just
of like the normal indie stuff.
yeah, they're kind of like the step above. They're kind of like in the middle ground somewhere
Yeah,
in
which I
between
think is
the
a great place to be and probably what I want to watch. To me, that's what
yeah,
ECW felt like to me
yeah,
back in the day.
yeah, and this just like with the four of them, ex WWE, you're seeing this whole thing where it's like, you are you seeing now the potential of what you could do with what you had, and you just
It
went like,
doesn't matter to them.
we
It
got
just
nothing for
doesn't
you.
matter to them because look at it this way. Even if they they cut them like this, they know that they want back. They know they have the money to bring back any of the four of them they want to, or all four of them at whatever contract price they want. They cut them because they don't feel like they have anything for them. If it's legit, I'm still not sold that Karrion Kross is not being told we're going to pick you back up
Yeah,
as long as you keep this going.
just like they're doing his book tour and going through the indies with this, just building more momentum, kind
Right.
of like
Now,
Cody did.
right. Now, if he goes to a book tour and no one shows up and he goes to this like GCW event and no one cares, then WWE doesn't have to sign him again. They don't have to officially re-sign him.
Yeah,
Just be like, no, that's unfortunate, but we still don't have anything for you, and keep doing what you're doing. We like you, we do. We just don't have anything for you. But if he goes out there and does this, and his book tour is super long, and they just keep showing up everywhere, making promos on social media for different bookings, which I guess his price is outrageous currently.
well
Um,
there's a very high demand for him right now, so that's why he's having the price it a certain way because he can't show up at all these fucking things with how
no,
many
but you just
offers he's getting.
book first come first serve, or you prioritize GCW and
Yeah,
House of Hardcore or House of Glory if you want to, that kind of stuff. You prioritize the biggies, and then after you get the big ones knocked out, you then pick up the next tier down, I'd say, like AIW.
yeah,
Um, and then he's probably not going lower than that. So let's be real. Like
yeah.
he's not going to a Mega or a Marion, Ohio for this area, for example.
Oh,
Um,
not.
but um, but he keeps uh, the same level of buzz he has going, and next thing you know, he's back in WB, and he's gonna get a big splash where he comes right back to dealing with Roman Reigns.
Yeah,
Because there was a while back, maybe closer to the pandemic era, he came out one time with an hourglass because his whole gimmick was TikTok essentially, and just put an hourglass on the apron as Roman and the Bloodline are in the ring, and then just backs up, almost like saying your time is up. And they did nothing else with that ever. So now Roman doesn't have the main belt, but he's still very good. Cross can go and build up all this buzz for himself on top of what he already has done, but now in the indie scene. And then he can come back and literally pay it off by jumping or putting another hourglass or whatever in a Roman Reigns match. And you instantly have that callback, that flat. I could see the video package in my head. I could see the black and white flash back to them putting the hourglass on the apron and then flashing to Roman Reigns' face, flashing to Scarlett's face, and then flashing back to like now where he's back in WWE, and boom, here's your rivalry, here's your thing when he first comes back in with Roman Reigns.
what if they go with like little promo packages anytime Roman Reigns is in the ring going to talk, and the hourglass just shows up on like say the jumbotron or
Yep, you
whatever,
could do that.
and you just see that like they did with
They
the millennial clock
Yep, for
for
Jericho.
yeah, for Jericho.
Would you want to see Jericho back? Side note. We should end this, but do you want to see Jericho back? Because that's the rumor that he's not coming back to AEW, and that people think he'll be in the Rumble.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. Jericho's always kind of done new, fresh things every time he's come back.
He has. See, the problem with Jericho, and I want to fill
Cody
you real
Barris,
fast.
thank you for the follow, by the way.
Um, I wanna just point this out real fast because I know you don't follow AEW. He hasn't really been, as far as I understand, implicated in anything too bad, but he's kind of been implicated in just being a creep.
Jericho is recently.
Yeah, so like Kylie Ray. I should know her name better. Very smiley, very nice. And other women, it seems. I probably shouldn't have said her name because I don't know how much of this is true or not or whatnot.
Well, WWE does like their creeps.
That's true. Anyways, he'd give off impressions like, "Hey, come up to my room. There's a party." They get up there and there's no party.
It's just him.
Yeah, and then they could leave. Don't get me wrong; they just turn around and leave. But they're like, "This is awkward," stuff like that. So there's no.
So it's kind of like the creepiness of like Louis C.K., where like he didn't molest anyone, but he did put out creepy scenarios where women are just like, "Oh."
It seems that way. So that's how I interpreted what I've heard of what he did. And the crowd base has let him hear it every time he's been in there.
Oh.
AEW fan base has not been nice to him since. They just kind of slowly they've tried to just push him out there anyways and hope to go away.
Yeah.
Eventually, they just stopped putting him out there. He had a whole gimmick with Big Bill, the guy who used to be the partner to Enzo, Big Cass back in the day.
Yeah, old Big
So
Cass.
he was part of a gimmick where he was the teacher, and everyone was under his learning tree.
Oh, I think I remember this. That was kind of just recent.
Yeah, and so he was getting some bad responses from the AEW crowd from those types of allegations, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know of him doing anything actually wrong. That's just what was brought up on Twitter, and it seems to go hand in hand with how the fan base started treating him. So, now that being said, it's WWE fan base, and WWE fan base doesn't give a shit about the AEW fan base, and there's a good chance that a lot of them just like Jericho just because he's Jericho. You know.
Yeah.
The older people like me will remember Lionheart, and those that are 10 years into wrestling at least will remember him with "You Just Made the List."
Yeah.
Which was classic, and I think everyone loved it, including myself. I loved the "You Made the List" stuff too.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So yeah.
Yeah, perfect. And then him and Kevin Owens were working together at the time.
Yeah.
His best friend was Kevin Owens.
And Kevin turned on him.
Yeah.
Knows how Kevin turns on all his fucking best friends.
He seems to have a good. I mean, this was a good judge of character. Okay, he just saw the future happening.
I'm just saying, all of them. Every best friend KO has had, he's just turned on. Everyone.
No, he didn't want to turn on Sammy.
Jericho, Sammy.
He didn't want to turn on Sammy. He didn't want to. That was Sammy made him.
That's four.
Sammy made him.
A small count.
Sammy. He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it.
Yeah. I know.
He didn't want to do it. Sammy made him.
Yeah.
The first time Sammy definitely made him, because the first time they wrestled was when Sammy was doing the conspiracy theory gimmick.
Oh yeah.
Where everyone was against him. So.
Was that like Sammy's militant clothes?
Yeah, that's where that all came from.
It looks like he was an underling of Castro.
Yeah, he really does. It was not a good look, but...
Well, you say it's not a good look, but that look made me remember him and never forget him, even though I was going through the phases of like, I'm watching, I'm not watching, I'm watching, I'm not watching.
See, I will always remember the one that was probably really hard for him to maintain, which was the NXT look, because he would have a much more trimmed down beard, much more trimmed down hair, and like much more either completely removed or trimmed down body hair. This man must have been spending a fortune on razors just to keep the body hair at bay at the time.
Going home to his wife, baby, I need you to shave me.
Yeah, it was.
I'm just gonna
I
get in the
mean,
shower and just bang.
like he should have. If it obviously didn't bother him or his family, which is fantastic, and he didn't have to do it. But I think a lot of other wrestlers would just have went ahead and did the laser hair removal at that point, just be done with it.
Yeah.
And he did not. I know Van Damme definitely did. If you look, there's like East W time. Van Damme's got like body hair that's popping up over his shoulders and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And by the time he hits WWE, no more, just gone.
I mean, Nair will do that too.
He could have been naring. That's possible, but that kind of can screw with your skin.
If you have a sensitivity to it, yeah, some people, it's probably just fine.
But I mean, I think it might after enough times of using it as well. Like if you're using it on I don't want to say daily basis, but a weekly basis or whatever you need to do.
Honestly, I think it's just a sensitivity issue. I think it depends on how sensitive you are to it.
That probably could be a factor. I just don't think that it's like a chemical based item. I just don't think that's a great idea to use constantly. Most people will use, like your average folk is going to use that before they go to Vegas on or the beach. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not going to use it because they're not on TV or they're not bodybuilding every week. You know what I mean?
Some people just use Nair religiously, like that.
Okay. I just figured that'd be bad for your skin. I guess I could be wrong.
It is for some people. You're absolutely right. I think it's just a sensitivity thing. It's kind of like
I think it's one of those things that's probably bad for everybody all the time to use for their skin, but the effects of it are lesser on some people than those with more sensitivity.
I mean, I can use an example from my construction days. Like the pink insulation stuff, the fiberglass. Yeah. But I mean, some people are very allergic to it. You gotta wear like long sleeves even the summer and make sure you don't get any of it. And, like gloves gotta go over the long sleeves and maybe put a rubber band around there so just nothing gets in or out. I can roll around naked in the stuff. It doesn't bother me.
See, that's weird because that stuff actually it isn't just about allergic reaction. It's about the actual fiberglass particles getting on you.
And getting in your skin and like in your pores. Like shit like that. That's essentially how it's irritating you. It doesn't bother me. And there's other people that's like that.
Right,
and
but I'm just
when I was taught that by a teacher, it was just like it's either it's kind of a spectrum. It's like there's some people roll around naked in it, like myself. Some people horribly like sensitive and allergic to it. I think it's the same thing.
I almost wouldn't call that an allergicness to it. That's just based on your pore size.
Perhaps that might have been just what they said.
That might be the way to describe it. Yes.
Yeah, it's not exactly how you put it.
I was like, oh God, give me the Benadryl.
But I think this is how you equate it to people's sensitivity with things like Nair. Like some people, one use, it's like, oh, never use that again. It was awful. Other people been using it their whole life and they're fine. I think it just is a spectrum of sensitivities. You're playing my wife here and just like, I'm gonna Google the answer.
I figured the back of the bottle would be on Google somewhere. They are saying that you can use it more commonly than I would have thought.
Yeah.
They want at least 3 to 4 days in between each.
Yeah.
Use.
Yeah. So I knew some girls throughout their later teens and all throughout their 20s where they spent a lot of beach time because they were in the South, and they simply just did that like once a week.
Yeah, once a week. But I'm actually thinking that like some of the people on WTV would want to do it twice a week because they might have been on TV more than once a week.
It also depends how soon is your hair going to grow back, because I think the Nair, doesn't it take out the root? It doesn't
I
just
don't
melt
think it
the top of your.
removes the root. I think it damages the root.
Okay,
Like
well,
I think it kills off at the root, but the follicle itself is still like fine.
yeah,
I
well,
was gonna say I don't know if it reacts the same way waxing does,
yeah, it's
because waxing does cause the hair to grow back slower and thinner as time goes on.
gotcha. So with that, I'm almost wondering if uh nairing, say, like once a week, if it's just like it depends on maybe your hair growth. Like maybe that, and for some people it's good once a week and they don't have to worry about it so much.
There was definitely be part of that. I have to imagine that some people could nair, especially if you have lighter hair. Hair does not damage the hair follicles.
Okay.
Does nair? Uh,
We really get deep with the wrestling. We're like into the ins and outs of like how do you remove all that hair and keep wrestling every week without looking like you barbecued your flesh.
right, exactly. Well, some stuff seems safe. Like people bleach their hair, right?
Yes.
But like James Marster, is that how you say his last name? The dude who played Spike for Buffy, um, bleaching it that much made his scalp bleed. They'd have to
Wait.
cut takes because his scalp was just randomly bleeding in certain takes.
Ow.
Yeah.
It seems like another like skin sensitivity sort of a thing. Like
No,
it
bleach
depends.
is rough on you. I think if you bleach your hair
Oh,
twice or three times a week to keep the roots being blonde, because again, he played a vampire who can't age a single second. I think anybody, again, I think it's one of those things. Sensitivity will matter how much, but I think it's like anything else. Like enough of
Jesus
it will
Christ.
still screw you. Like
Jeez, his roots would show that fast.
I think he was talking about doing it 2 to 3 times a week.
God damn.
Yeah, he's fantastic. If you see him, if you have any interest in Buffy or just want to hear fun stories, stand in his line because he just talks to every single person telling fun stories each step of the way, and it's just
Yeah.
they're great stories.
Huh.
Whether it's hair stuff or whether it's jam sessions with him and Josh Whedon and everybody else to just get together and just jam out musically and stuff like that. He would just talk about all kinds of fun stories.
Yeah.
I can't say that for every celebrity. Some celebrities you just stand in line and then you meet them and they sign stuff and you move on. But him, the line took a long time, but it was fun listening to every individual story as he went.
Yeah.
Does nair cause hair to grow? We'll see. Here's the opposite of what I was wondering, but this should answer my question. Okay, so essentially, nair doesn't seem to thin out the hair like waxing does, but it also doesn't make it appear to come back thicker the same way shaving does. It's neutral.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Okay. And you're right. The level of which it's going to irritate your skin is going to be based on the sensitivity of your skin. But I feel like it's one of those things that if you just pour enough on, eventually it's going to irritate everybody. Some people can play in lacquer thinner and it never bothers their skin. But if you do it for enough time, it's going to affect your skin, period. Like there's no way
Well,
you can't.
that's the thing with some people with fiberglass. Like that's their job to do the insulation. It never bothers them, and they're being exposed to it 40 hours a week, if not
Right.
more.
But my point is though that it's still a chemical. So like I said, you can go
Mm-hmm.
grab lacquer thinner, and some people it will sting. Some people they really don't like the way their hands feel because of it, and that's the sensitivity end of it.
Yeah.
If you are like an automotive painter that doesn't wear gloves because you're an insane person, and you use lacquer thinner daily to wipe things down, to prep things, to remove old paint, um, like it or not, your hands are going to dry out, whether you have a
Oh.
sensitivity or not. They will become dry. Period. They will flake. They will discolor.
Yeah.
Because the lacquer thinner is going to rip all the moisture out, whether you like it or not. Now, it may not bother you, but it's going to have an effect, is all I'm saying.
I mean, even just a lot of hand washing is going to do that to you.
Yeah,
Like,
it rips the moisture out.
so even with like what I used to do with model pouring, just having to just make a bowl of stone, pour a bunch of stuff, wash all that out, and then start over again and all that because of setup times. Because it sets up like concrete would essentially.
Right.
Especially in the winter up here where it's drier and you do all that, just working with water all day, it dries up your hands really bad, gets rid of all those natural oils. So
Correct.
even water just does it.
Right. But again, different substances would do it faster.
And chemicals will be harsher.
Right.
Especially
so
if you work with it that much.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing that some people will have very high tolerances to it. I'm just saying I thought that Nair is one of those things that if you used it daily, for example, you'd eventually chemically burn your skin.
Okay, I'm not talking about anyone doing it daily.
The more you do it, the more the chance of like irritation is going to be there, no matter what your level of. It's not an allergy, It's not like you can't. It's not like it's a literal chemical touching your skin. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, I figure given a week,
a week,
like you do it once a week,
good.
Your skin should repair enough and be fine. But
you'd hope. But maybe when you're 20, it does. But when you're 80, it doesn't.
Well, I mean, yes. But I think so. The wrestlers kind of stop before they get to 80. Some of them.
Yeah, some. I'm gonna say some.
Yeah, some. I don't think Mae Young was using Nair up to getting Bubba bombed off the stage.
She gave birth to a hand, my friend. She may have.
You don't know if she was using hair or Nair. Oh boy, that was a bit of a slip.
Can Nair burn your skin? As gentle as Nair can be, yes, it can end up burning or irritating your skin. Active ingredients and potassium hydroxy and calcium hydroxide. These are worked. Blah, 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 blah. I guess it also is good for exfoliating your skin, which makes sense.
Well, there you go. It's also good for you.
Again, it just comes down to say that after 72 hours, you wait at least 72 hours to do.
Yeah.
And also keep it away from your eyes.
Yeah. Don't put it there. Keep any chemical away from your fucking eyes.
Except for eye drops.
Yeah, well.
I tend to miss my eyes with those. It's the problem. I always tend to blink and miss the first drop.
Yeah, I have a hard time doing that. It psyched myself out. The one trick I learned with that was to drop it in the corner of your eyes, and then you blink to have it wash in.
That makes sense. You know what I like? Have you ever seen little cups that you fill with solution, and then you cup over your eyeball?
Oh.
And you just go back with it like this?
Oh my god, I don't think I could do that. That's such
it feels fantastic!
Oh man. You're creeping me out just telling me this. Can we end the stream now?
Fantastic.
Oh man, I'm bugged out now. I don't want to be
your
here
eye
anymore.
just feels so refreshed when it's done. It feels so. If you ever wanted your eye to feel lubricated, that's how you do it right there.
Oh, yeah, they're starting to get there already. Oh, building tears.
Dude, I tell you,
it's
really refreshing. I recommend that experience in life.
I don't want shit in my eyes. I
all right.
Fucking contacts or nothing. As much as they can be cool as fucking shit sometimes, I ain't putting shit in my eyes. Fuck that.
Dude, it felt so good.
I have like a panic attack thinking about like you could like a
refreshing.
Contact that goes in, you can never get it out.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. Yes.
And it just rolls into the back of your head, and you're like,
I don't want that. I don't want that.
Yeah,
I don't want that at all.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah, so that terrifies me. I don't even want to think about this shit.
It's just so refreshing.
Yeah, I'm not refreshed. Can I go now? I'm terrified. I don't like this.
We're good. It's been an hour and a half. We're good now to call it.
Fucking frightened me right at the end of this piece of shit.
It's not to be frightened. It's refreshing.
I'm not refreshed.
I would use that well before Nair, dude. Yeah. You know what? Next week, let's just bring a random topic of wrestling, whether it be like the vest topic, the shaving, or the nair topic. Just one piece of wrestling, the pyro top, something we spot, and just let's deep dive into that bullshit.
Okay, not putting shit in my eyes.
All right. Well, I'm going to refresh my eyeballs before the next episode of this, and
I'm gonna do that by going to sleep. Thanks. I'll do it the natural way.
dude,
With
you're not.
rapid eye
You're
movement.
you're missing out.
No, I'm not. No, I'm fine.
So, anyways, it's another episode of the Wrestling Mats where we talked about a lot of stuff that wasn't Raw and a little bit that was Raw,
And then
and
creepy shit.
it's better that way, honestly. Anyways, Clash of whatever, Clash in Paris is
Yes.
Sunday. So we'll see. Saturday, I'm gonna be busy watching some serious college football, but maybe we'll do a prediction show and maybe we'll talk about SmackDown. We'll see.
Yep. We'll see.
But either way, it's been fun. We're gonna call it.